Richest black family in Atlanta. Black Mecca. Atlanta didn't become known as the Black Mecca by accident. Behind the city's booming culture, massive developments, and thriving business scene are powerful black families who quietly built empires worth billions. From Tyler Perry building one of the largest film studios in America, to the legendary Herman J. Russell family constructing some of Atlanta's most iconic landmarks, these are the 7 richest black families in Atlanta. Stick around, because the stories behind Atlanta's richest black families are more shocking and inspiring than you might expect. Number 1. Tyler Perry. First on the list is Tyler Perry, one of the most powerful and influential figures in Atlanta's business world. He is widely considered the richest black individual in Atlanta with an estimated net worth of about $1.4 billion. But what makes his fortune unique is not just the amount, it is the structure behind it. Perry built his empire on something most creators never achieve: full ownership. While many actors and producers earn money through salaries and contracts, Perry owns 100% of the content he creates, a library that includes more than 1,200 television episodes, over 20 films, and decades of stage plays. This means every stream, broadcast, and licensing deal continues to generate money for him long after the original project was released. The Madea franchise alone has grossed more than $670 million, turning a single comedic character into a cultural and financial powerhouse. The real engine of his wealth is control. Perry writes, directs, produces, and owns the final product, which allows him to keep profits that most creators must split with studios. That strategy turned him from a struggling playwright into a media mogul who now operates a 330-acre studio complex in Atlanta, one of the largest film studios in the United States. His partnership with Viacom-CBS reportedly brings him about $150 million a year in content deals, while also giving him an equity stake in BET+. But it wasn't always like this. Perry once worked selling cars and collecting bills while writing scripts during his spare time, and he scraped together $12,000 to rent a small theater in Atlanta to stage his first play. The production initially failed, leaving him broke and sleeping in his car for months while he rewrote the show again and again until audiences finally started to respond. That painful period created the discipline that shaped his business philosophy. Ownership, patience, and persistence became the foundation of his wealth. And while Perry may be the most famous wealthy figure in Atlanta, the next family on this list helped build the physical foundation of the city itself. Number 2. The Russell family. The H.J. Russell and Company dynasty represents one of the most powerful multi-generational black business families in America, and it all started with a young boy named Herman J. Russell. Born into poverty in Atlanta, Russell was one of 8 children growing up in a family where money was scarce and opportunity was limited. His father had only a 4th-grade education, and Russell himself struggled with a speech impediment that followed him throughout his life. Yet even as a child, he showed signs of entrepreneurial instinct. Inspired by the small black-owned businesses that lined Auburn Avenue, he opened a simple shoe shine stand outside his home. That tiny business was the seed of something far larger. Over time, Russell moved into construction and real estate development, eventually founding H.J. Russell and Company, a firm that would grow into one of the largest black-owned construction companies in the United States. The mechanism behind the family's wealth lies in infrastructure. Instead of focusing on small projects, Russell's company positioned itself to build the large structures that define cities. The firm played a role in building major landmarks, including the headquarters of the Coca-Cola Company, the headquarters of Georgia Pacific, and major public projects such as Mercedes-Benz Stadium, home of the Atlanta Falcons. Their work even reached the national stage with projects like the National Museum of African American History and Culture in Washington, D.C. When Russell passed away in 2014, the real test began. Many family fortunes disappear by the second generation, but the Russell family successfully transitioned leadership to his children, including Michael Russell and H. Jerome Russell. Their continued success shows that true wealth is not only about building companies, but also about building systems that survive long after the founder is gone. And while construction built Atlanta's skyline, another powerful family built an empire in a very different industry: beauty. Number 3. The Bronner family. Few industries in Atlanta are as influential as black beauty, and at the center of that world sits the Bronner brothers family empire. In 1947, Nathaniel H. Bronner Sr. and his siblings started teaching cosmetology classes at a local YMCA. At the time, the black beauty industry was largely underserved, and Bronner saw an opportunity not just to teach styling techniques, but to build a business ecosystem around them. Over the decades, that small effort evolved into one of the largest African-American hair and skincare companies in the United States, producing well-known product lines such as African Royale, Tropical Roots, and New Expressions. But the most powerful part of the Bronner strategy is not just selling products, it is controlling the platform where the entire industry gathers. The Bronner Brothers International Beauty Show, held at the Georgia World Congress Center, attracts between 40,000 and 70,000 professionals each year, including stylists, barbers, salon owners, and beauty entrepreneurs from around the world. The event generates about $60 million in economic impact for Atlanta every year, turning the beauty convention into a massive financial engine. Their magazine Upscale has also played a role in shaping trends within the industry. The Bronner story shows that real wealth often comes from controlling the marketplace where an industry meets, not just selling the items within it. And speaking of controlling the right marketplace, the next businessman built his empire in one of the busiest places on earth. Number 4. Mack Wilbourn. Inside Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, a traveler may only notice the smell of fast food and the long lines of passengers moving between terminals. But for entrepreneur Mack Wilbourn, that airport became the foundation of a multi-million-dollar empire. Wilbourn is the owner of Mack 2 Incorporated, a company that operates several restaurant franchises within the airport, including brands like Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen and Checkers. At first glance, these might look like ordinary fast food outlets, but their location makes them extraordinary. Hartsfield-Jackson sees more than 100 million passengers each year, making it one of the busiest airports in the world. That constant flow of travelers creates enormous sales volume for businesses positioned inside the terminals. Wilbourn recognized this opportunity early and strategically placed his franchises where foot traffic was highest. His 2 Popeyes locations have consistently ranked among the busiest in the entire global system, serving thousands of customers daily. The wealth mechanism here is simple but powerful. High traffic equals high volume, and high volume multiplied across multiple brands creates enormous revenue streams. Wilbourn's journey began in 1971 when he became one of the first minority McDonald's franchise owners in the Atlanta area, using that initial success as a stepping stone into a much larger portfolio that includes vending companies and other partnerships throughout the city. While Wilbourn mastered the flow of travelers, the next entrepreneur focused on reshaping entire neighborhoods. Number 5. Egbert Perry. Urban developer Egbert Perry built his fortune by reimagining what city housing could look like. As chairman and CEO of the Integral Group, Perry approached real estate development with a bold vision during the 1990s when Atlanta faced serious problems with deteriorating public housing projects. These communities were often isolated, underfunded, and plagued by crime, leaving residents trapped in cycles of poverty. Perry saw a different possibility. Instead of simply renovating existing projects, he introduced a model called mixed-income housing, where people from different economic backgrounds live in the same community with shared amenities, schools, and parks. One of the earliest examples of this idea was Centennial Place, a redevelopment that replaced failing public housing with a neighborhood designed for both working families and professionals. The project proved so successful that it became a model used across the United States in federal housing redevelopment programs. Perry's work did more than create profit. It reshaped how cities approach housing and community design. But Atlanta's wealth story is not only about developers and entrepreneurs. Some families built their legacy through a service that touches every community in the most emotional moments of life. Number 6. The Levitt Family. The Levitt family represents one of the most respected and influential family businesses in the Atlanta area through their company, Gregory B. Levitt & Sons Funeral Homes and Crematory. Founded by Gregory B. Levitt Sr. and his wife Betty more than 4 decades ago, the company began in 1980 with a modest 5,000 square foot facility in Scottsdale, Georgia. What started as a small funeral service business gradually expanded into a network of large modern chapels across metro Atlanta. Funeral services are a stable industry that remains important regardless of economic conditions, and the Levitt family have positioned their brand at the premium end of the market. Their chapels resemble elegant hotels, featuring custom furniture, spacious viewing rooms, large conference spaces for family gatherings, and fleets of luxury vehicles that include Rolls-Royces and Cadillacs. This attention to detail allows the company to charge premium prices while maintaining strong community loyalty. Over the years, the Levitt family has also donated more than $1 million to charities, reinforcing their reputation as a pillar of the community. This shows that wealth can grow steadily when a business becomes deeply trusted within the community it serves. The final figure on this list took a very different route to wealth, turning fame and real estate into an empire. Number 7. Rick Ross. Rapper and entrepreneur Rick Ross, born William Leonard Roberts II, has transformed himself from a music star into what many call a land baron of Fayetteville, Georgia. Before becoming famous, Ross even worked as a correctional officer, a humble beginning that contrasts sharply with his current empire. While his career began in hip-hop, Ross built much of his wealth through strategic property ownership and brand expansion. His residence, known as the Promised Land, is the largest private home in the state of Georgia, a massive estate sitting on 235 acres of land just outside Atlanta. The mansion spans 54,000 square feet with 109 rooms, a dining hall that can seat 100 guests, and a 350,000-gallon swimming pool, the largest residential pool in the United States. Ross purchased the property from legendary boxer Evander Holyfield in 2014 for about $5.8 million, a price that now looks like a bargain considering Atlanta's real estate boom. But Ross did not stop at simply owning the property. He turned the estate into a business asset by hosting events such as the Rick Ross Car and Bike Show, where thousands of fans pay premium ticket prices to tour the property and see his luxury vehicle collection. This strategy converts a personal residence into a revenue-generating venue, blending entertainment, branding, and real estate into a single income stream. In Atlanta, wealth isn't just about flashy lifestyles. It's about vision, strategy, and building empires that last for generations. These families prove that true power comes from creating systems that continue to grow long after the first dollar is earned.